Day number 13 of Chicago Bears training camp's in the books, and let's talk about everything that happened during the joint practice with the Miami Dolphins. What's going on, guys? I'm back with another Chicago Bears training camp update video, which I'll be doing every single day at training camp this year. I did not have a video out for yesterday's practice because it was a pretty light practice in preparation for the big practice today against the Miami Dolphins. So not too many reports to cover from yesterday, but today, there were a crap ton of reports that came out, and man, it was a practice in which the Bears defense completely dominated the Miami Dolphins offense. That was the story of today from camp. So many reports from Bears reporters, from Dolphins reporters as well, at how much the Bears defense just bullied the Dolphins offense. Tua threw 3 picks. He did not look that good out there today. A lot of struggles from the Dolphins offense. They were missing Tyreek Hill, but the Bears defense was missing Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon. So the Bears defense was not even at full strength, even though Tyreek was out on the other side. So that kind of balances out. But regardless, the Bears defense laid a bunch of hard hits on the Dolphins offense. There were fights that happened between the Dolphins' own players because of how frustrated they were getting at how little success they were having in the practice today. So a lot of cool reports to talk about from the practice today. And talking about the injuries, first of all, as I mentioned, Kyler Gordon did not practice today due to leaving practice early yesterday. It's a minor injury for him. He should be back relatively soon. And obviously, Jalen Johnson is dealing with the leg injury, so he's going to be out for still a couple more weeks. But yeah, tons to talk about with the defense. I'll just go through each report one by one, then talk about all of it together at the very end. But yeah, the first one, according to Adam Johns, safety Jaquan Brisker had an interception of Tua during 7-on-7s, jumped a route down the seam and returned it untouched. He threw the ball into the stands for a fan. Bears equipment boss Tony Medlin came in and got the Dolphins ball, but threw the fan a Bears one. So really early in practice, Jaquan already got an interception off of Tua. Clay Harbor said that Gervon Dexter looked almost unblockable in one-on-ones. He lined up from nose all the way out to 6 technique. Great get off and quicks off the ball. My pick for breakout player on the Bears defense. So on one-on-one, Gervon Dexter having a lot of success. And then according to Omar Kelly, who is a Dolphins beat writer, he said that Terrell Smith had 2 breakups on passes versus the Dolphins offense. Miami's clearly struggling with how physical the Bears defense is being. Adam Johns reported about a great period for the Bears defense. Cornerback Tyreek Stevenson blew up a screen with a hard hit on Jalen Waddle, who stayed down for a bit. Defensive tackle Gervon Dexter had a tackle for loss. Defensive end Montez Sweat had a sack. Safety Jaquan Brisker had a blitz and a sack on that blitz. So, a lot of good things from the Bears defense in that team period. Greg Bragg said that Nahshon Wright really showing out for the Bears defense in 11-on-11s, almost came away with 2 interceptions. Sticky. Bear Report said Jaquan Brisker all over the field right now, having a day. Adam Johns then tweeted about the second interception on Tua. Bears safety Kevin Byard with the interception off Tua during the second team period. Cornerback Nahshon Wright tipped the pass. Matt Zahn said Bears defense dominating the goal line drill against Tua and the Dolphins first team offense. Dio with the sack. Tremaine Edmonds ends it with an interception. So even on the goal line drill, Bears defense having a ton of success. And then Omar Kelly again said that anyone who tells you this Dolphins offense looked good today is a flat out liar. It's been bad, very bad. And again, Omar Kelly is a Dolphins beat writer. So I'm not saying Dolphins beat writers are going to be biased towards their own team, but they know their team a lot better than us Bears fans know their team. So the fact that all the Dolphins beat writers out there were saying how badly the Dolphins offense was struggling, how they seemed demoralized, how they couldn't keep up with the Bears physicality, how bad they were just struggling to move the ball whatsoever in this practice period. It just says so many good things about the Chicago Bears defense. And basically everybody on the Bears defense had a good day. Almost every member of the Bears defense was mentioned in these reports. You look at the defensive ends, Montez Sweat had a good day. Dio had a sack. If you look at the linebackers, Tremaine Edmonds had an interception. TJ Edwards had a couple good plays. If you look at the secondary, Jaquan Brisker was all over the field making big time play after big time play. He had a sack. He had an interception early in the practice, and safety Kevin Byard also had an interception. Everybody was coming together and just making life brutally difficult on the Miami Dolphins offense. And fun fact, guys, according to a report I saw on Twitter, Tua only had thrown 1 interception in all of camp before this joint practice. So the fact the Bears defense got 3 interceptions off of him just shows you how tough and strong the Chicago Bears defense is going to be in 2025. And the fact that Caleb has had to go up against this defense every single day in practice, that also shows you how much they're toughening up Caleb Williams, because we've gotten reports about Caleb struggling here and there in camp, but against a defense this good that caused Tua to throw 3 picks in 1 practice, and the Dolphins offense could just not move the ball whatsoever with such a smart offensive mind like Mike McDaniel. Again, that shows how talented the Chicago Bears defense is and how good of a coach Dennis Allen is. I mean, honestly, the Bears got an upgrade at the defensive coordinator spot with Dennis Allen over Matt Eberflus. I mean, Eberflus was the head coach, but like from a defensive mind point of view, I think Dennis Allen is even better defensive mind than Eberflus was. His scheme is a lot more aggressive. We're not going to see, hopefully like the 3rd and longs being allowed as often as they were under the Eberflus regime, because Dennis Allen likes to be aggressive. He likes to, play his cornerbacks closer to the line of scrimmage, play a lot of press man. Cornerbacks like Tyreek Stevenson and a safety like Jaquan Brisker are really going to thrive in a scheme like that because they love the physicality aspect of playing their positions. And Kyler Gordon too. I mean, Kyler Gordon is such a hard hitter. He loves being physical. All of our cornerbacks, all of our secondary love being physical. So that's why Dennis Allen was the perfect hire for this defense, and his impact is already showing. And it's not only Dennis Allen's impact, it's Ben Johnson's impact too, because he has been stressing how important physicality is in practice, how important it is to be violent in practice. And, obviously to an extent, you don't want to kill your own teammates, but the Bears have been practicing super hard the last couple weeks. I mean, a couple days ago, or like a couple practices ago, beat reporters on the Chicago Bears were talking about witnessing the most physical practice they have ever seen covering the Chicago Bears, at least since the Lovie Smith days. So Ben Johnson and Dennis Allen are enforcing a level of physicality and violence on this team that we have not seen in a long time, and we're already making other teams feel sick of that physicality. In fact, the Dolphins ended up punching their own teammates. So according to Omar Kelly, the Dolphins defense is fighting the Dolphins defense, punches thrown. We can only see Jordan Brooks was involved, can't see who else. The fact that our team was doing so good against the Dolphins frustrated them so much that they started throwing punches against each other in a joint practice. I mean, like, when's the last time you heard of a Bears team doing something like that? Usually we would be the ones on the other side getting frustrated and our team blowing up, but things seem different this year, guys. I know it's only practice, it's only a joint practice, but these mean a lot more than the regular training camp practices do. This would mean a lot more than the preseason games too, because in the preseason games, that film is available to everybody, but in practice, that film is not available to everybody. You're only showing that film to the Miami Dolphins. So you can run a lot more real plays than you would in a preseason game. And the fact that the Bears defense was doing so well against those real plays, again, makes me so excited for what the Bears defense could be in 2025. I honestly think they could be a top 10 defense this year with how much our team just dominated the Dolphins offense. And again, the Dolphins offense, maybe it's going to struggle a little bit this year. With offensive line issues. Like, their offensive line was so bad today, and they probably will be this season. So maybe you don't want to take too much away against a weaker offensive line, but still, like, the Dolphins offense has a ton of juice on it. They have Jalen Waddle. Tua has been a pretty accurate quarterback in the past. They have Mike McDaniel. So I don't want to take away from how good the Bears defense was today. They were dominant today, and they won the day. They stole the show today. So hats off to Dennis Allen and the Chicago Bears defense. But talking about the Bears offense, it was more of a up and down day for the Bears offense and Caleb Williams. They had some really good moments. They had some bad moments as well. So talking about that. So first of all, Caleb Williams, according to Brad Biggs, was picked off in his first pass in 11 on 11. So that was a pretty bad throw by Caleb. He's had a few of these throws in camp where maybe he's just trying to see what he can get away with, in practice before he plays in real games, because in the games last year, we didn't really see Caleb attempt many of these risky passes. I mean, he only had 6 interceptions in so many pass attempts. So I'm not really worried about Caleb turning the ball over too much. I think he's just trying to see what he can get away with. But regardless, have to make some better decisions if you are Caleb Williams. But after that pick, it seemed like he did pretty good. According to Adam Hogue, overall good start for Caleb in the receivers in 1-on-1s and 7-on-7s. Very few balls on the ground and only one poor throw. Seemed like the Dolphins had a penalty on almost every rep during 1-on-1. So yeah, the 1-on-1s, the Bears receivers absolutely dominated. Like, they were destroying the Dolphins cornerbacks out there. Caleb was throwing good passes. Those drills are built for the offense to succeed anyways, but it just showed off like how much talent the Bears have in the receiving core, because the Dolphins defense could not stop anything at all in the 1-on-1s. And also the 7-on-7s were very successful for Caleb and the offense. And going back to the 11-on-11, so Caleb rebounded after the bad pick with a touchdown to Olamide Zaccheaus, a 70-yard touchdown. So it was more of a catch and run. It wasn't really like a deep ball, but he got the ball to Zaccheaus in the middle of the field. Zaccheaus made it go all the way to the house. And yeah, I love to see Caleb bouncing back there. And Zaccheaus has been having such a good camp. More reports on him right here. But according to Mark Carman, great one-handed catch against the boundary by Olamide Zaccheaus from Caleb Williams. So again, guys, Zaccheaus has been such an underrated acquisition by the Chicago Bears. I thought he was going to be a receiver 3 initially before we drafted Luther Burden, and he still could be, guys, because he's been having a fantastic camp. He can do so many different things so well and just be such a reliable player for the Bears. The fact that he's a depth receiver for us, he's only going to be receiver 3 or receiver 4. I mean, that just shows how stacked the Bears receiving core is, because I guarantee you the Commanders, they probably wish they had Zaccheaus still, especially with all the drama going on with Terry McLaurin. They could really use a playmaker like Zaccheaus on their team, but I'm happy the Bears stole him away from the Commanders. I mean, he's going to do big things for the Bears this year, even as a depth receiver. And then according to Zach Pearson, he said that Bears first team in end of half situation, up 21-0 with over a minute to go. Caleb had a quick throw to Zaccheaus again. Sacked by Elijah Campbell, came untouched off the edge. Williams to come at for about 13 yards on 3rd and 15. So yeah, guys, overall, there was some ups and downs. A lot of great play by Olamide Zaccheaus. Caleb had, a few nice touchdowns. He had that one bad pick. There were some reports of pre-snap penalties again, which kind of worries me, because the pre-snap penalties have been an issue during camp so far. I hope that gets cleaned up before the regular season. But, overall, pretty decent day. Not as good of a day as the Bears defense had, but that might be how the regular season goes at the very beginning. While Caleb and the offense figure things out over time, maybe the Bears defense could carry the team initially. And I know Bears fans don't want to hear that, because we've been used to the Bears defense carrying this team. And I still think the Bears offense can be at least decent right away, but they're probably not going to be firing on all cylinders until, I don't know, week 4, week 5, because it's a brand new scheme. New players inserted into the offense. So, we'll see what happens. But overall, a lot to be positive about from today. I want to talk about the special teams too, because even that part of the team had a pretty successful day. According to Omar Kelly, Channing Tindall just lost containment on a Bears out returner who would have ran it up the sideline for possibly a touchdown. Man, is this struggle city. So even in the return game, the Chicago Bears were beating the Miami Dolphins asses. So top to bottom, a great practice by the Chicago Bears. I want to give praise to Ben Johnson and Dennis Allen for running an operation so smoothly, where we were for sure the better team in the joint practice today. I know the Dolphins have question marks this year about what they're going to be. Maybe they're not going to be the best team anyways, but still, to dominate any NFL team in the manner in which the Bears defense especially dominated the Dolphins offense, that is something to be impressed by. And hopefully the Bears offense continues getting better, but that is my main takeaway from today. The Bears defense could be better than any of us expected, and it's just really exciting to talk about. Now, talking about the preseason game, the Bears have their first preseason game on Sunday against the Miami Dolphins. Starters will not be playing according to Ben Johnson, which I'll talk about that more in my preview video I'll release tomorrow, but a little bit disappointing. I would have liked to see starters out there, but then again, the Bears just had a very physical practice against the Dolphins for 2 hours today, and they basically won that practice. So maybe I'm not going to be as concerned about that. But yeah, no starters on Sunday, unfortunately. I'll be having a preview video out for you guys tomorrow and a recap video out Sunday night as well. But yeah, leave your comments down below. What do you guys think about practice today? As always, bear down.